I'm gonna call eyes.
Crayon, shut up, Crayon. Stop being triggered. Oh my days, stop being triggered. Stop being triggered, Crayon.
By the way, audience,
Crayon, stop being triggered. Stop being triggered.
And all it's gonna have is fucking
stop being triggered, Crayon.
He can never follow the conversation.
Stop being triggered. Stop being
never
triggered,
has the
Crayon.
IQ to follow
Crayon,
any
stop
topic.
being
That's what
triggered, Crayon. Thank you, I appreciate it. So, when we look, right, at what Philly just said, he said the absolute, unmitigated, unadulterated, give it raw truth, right? And I know it hurts. I know it hurts to hear it, but it's the absolute truth. Now, let me tell y'all, right, the foundation of what Finley was just talking about, right? When we look at the foundation, right, everybody, we essentially see the paradox. Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Okay, I'm thinking of what I'm gonna say because I didn't have anything.
Shut the fuck up, Crayon. Shut up, Crayon.
Nathan, I just want to point out why you ain't got to do that nigga trophy.
Why? Crayon, shut the fuck up. Thank you.
You ain't got nothing, man.
So shut up, Crayon. I appreciate it.
You remember this, Nathan, when I'm acting the fool? Remember this?
So when we look at what Finley was talking about, it's essentially the paradox of modern society, where you want to empower one group, which is the women, and at the same time disparage the other group, that the one group you're empowering wants the other group to be more powerful than them, right? We all know women practice hypergamy, right? That's the practice of, oh, I want a nigga much better than me, right? That's what they all practice. They're all programmed to practice that shit.
Oh, Fred and Fitz said that one.
It's weird, right? That group that actually wants everybody to be better than them.
Yo, fucking
shut the fuck, Crayon, shut the fuck up, Crayon, shut up, Crayon.
We all know that women practice hypergamy.
Crayon, shut up, Crayon. Shut up, Crayon.
Bro.
Hey, Crayon.
Shut up, like, one at a time, Crayon. What the hell?
Shut up.
Because shut up, Crayon.
Why Nathan?
Shut up, Crayon.
Why Nathan is letting you see what I don't understand, man.
Shut up, Crayon. Shut up, Crayon. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, bro. So we have to be honest, right, guys, about these things. Because if we're not honest about them,
oh my God.
Was it 100 an hour? Was it 200 an hour?
Shut up, Crayon.
Damn, they kicked me from the room. They freed me. Okay, everybody, that's been Chillism. It is April 15th, 2025. Hope you enjoyed this morning podcast. We're now going into our afternoon hypnosis session.
And that's the whole craziness when people say we need to bring jobs back to the U.S. It'll just all be done by robots.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to be working in the factories. It's going to be a bunch of robots and five guys sitting around.
That's what I'm worrying about, bro.
Y'all remember
Okay, so right.
Hold on, Chris. Y'all remember a couple years ago when you walked into a McDonald's or a Burger King, whatever, or Taco Bell, and you saw like the big stands with the menu on it where you can pick your own shit, and just kind of weird because like, wait, I can do this myself now, and then just go up there and it brings out. Y'all remember that feeling? Like walking in and like, oh shit, there's not somebody to do it here for me. I can do it myself, or I can even order before.
They cut down 80% of Walmart cashiers.
Right, but this is what happens when you align, or when interests in the country are aligned more with labor and productivity than people, because it assumes that you need people to accomplish like labor and productivity, but like the checkout lines, right? You don't. So
yeah, but Chris, do you not see the implications?
Yeah, I do see the implications, but I also see us like, conditioned in a way where we're kind of against our own self-interest.
We're like,
Okay, this book is called The Wizard Way. It is a rare monkey press. It is number... It's called Way Wizard or The Wizard Way. This is Aleister Crowley. This is the 100th monkey press, Fall Equinox 2017. This is number 145 out of 150. I'm creating YouTube videos here. 60-second clips. Velvet soft, the night star glowed over the untrodden road, through the giant glades of yew, where its ray fell light as dew, lighting up the shimmering vale. Maiden pure and airy frail, that the spiders wove to hide blushes of the sylvan bride. Earth that trembled with delight at the male caress of night. Velvet soft, the wizard trod to the Sabbath of his God. With his naked feet he made starry blossoms in the glade. Softly, softly as he went to the somber sacrament, stealthily stepping to the tryst in his gown of amethyst. Earlier yet the soul had come to the hill of martyrdom. Velvet soft, the night star glowed over the untrodden road, through the giant... Earlier yet his soul had come to the hill of martyrdom, where the charred and crooked stake, like a black envenomed snake, by the hangman's hands is thrust through the white and writhing dust, never black and never dried, heart's blood of a suicide. He had plucked the hazel rod from the rude and goatish god, even as the curved moon's waning gray stole from the king of day. He had learnt the elvish sign, given the token of the nine, once to rave and once to revel, once to bow before the devil, once to swing the thurible, once to kiss the goat of hell, once to dance the aspen spring, once to croak and once to sing, once to oil the savory thighs on the honey and the gall of that black enchanter's lips. as he croons to the eclipse. Mingling that most puissant spell of the giant gods of hell with the four ingredients of the evil elements, ambergris from golden spar, musk of ox from mongrel jar, civet from a box of jade, mixed with fat of many a maid, slain by the enchantments cold of the witches wild and old. He had crucified a toad in the basilic abode, muttering the runes of verse, mad with many a mocking curse. He had traced the serpent sigil in his ghastly virgin vigil, Sursum core, the elfin hill, where the wind blows deadly chill from the world that wails beneath death's black throat and lipless teeth. There he had stood, his bosom bare, tracing life upon the air, with the crook and with the flail, lashing forward on the gale, till its blade that wavereth, like the flickering like the flickering of death, sank before his subtle fence to the starless sea of sense. Now at last the man is come, haply to his halidom. Surely as he waves his rod in a circle on the sword, springs the emerald chaste and clean from the duller pale green. Surely in the circle millions of immaculate pavilions flash upon the trembling turf like the sea stars in the surf. Millions of bejeweled tents for the warrior sacraments, vaster, 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 vaster grows the stature of the master. Oh, the ringed encampment vies with the infinite galaxies in the midst a cubic stone, with the devil set thereon, hath a lamb's virginal throat, hath the body of a stoat, hath the buttocks of a goat, hath the sanguine face and rod of a goddess and a god. Spell by spell and pace by pace, mystic flashes swing and trace, velvet soft the sigils stepped, by the silver starred adept, back in front and to and fro, soul and body sway and flow, in vertiginous caress to imponderable recesses, till at last the spell is woven and the fairy veil is cloven, that was sequence, space, and stress of the soul's sick consciousness. Give thy body to the beasts, give thy spirit to the priests, break in twain in hazel rod on the virgin lips of God, tear the rosy cross asunder, shatter the black bolt of thunder, such the swart and sanguine kiss of the resolute abyss. Wonder weft the wizard heard this intolerable word, smote the blasting hazel rod on the scarlet lips of God, trampled cross and rosy spell by spell and smote the blasting hazel rod on the scarlet lips of God, trampled cross and rosy core, break the thunder tool of Thor, meek and holy acolyte of the priestly hells of spite, sleek and shameless catamite of the beasts that prowl by night, like a star that streams from heaven, through the virgin air's light riven, from the lift there shot and fell an admirable miracle, carved minute and clean, a key of purest lapis lazuli, more blue than the blind sky that aches, wreathed with the stars her torturing snakes, for the dead god's kiss that never wakes, shot with golden specks of fire, like a virgin with desire, looked the lavers, fun frail fronds of fantastic diamonds, glimmering with ethereal azure in each exquisite embrasure, and smoke blasting haze. On the shaft the letters laced, as if dryads lunar chaste with the satyrs were embraced, spelled the secret of the key, sic Pervenius, and he went his wizard way in weaving dreams of things beyond believing. When he will, the very world of the senses closely curled, like a serpent round his heart, shakes herself and stands apart. So the heart's blood flames expanding, strenuous, urgent, and commanding, and the key unlocks the door where his love lives evermore. She is of the fairy blood, or smaragdine flows its blood, glowing in the amber sky, to ensorcelled porphyry. She hath eyes of glittering flake, like a cold grey water snake. She hath naked breasts of amber, jetting wine in a bedchamber, whereof whoso stoops and drinks reads the riddle of the Sphinx. She hath naked limbs of amber. She hath naked limbs of amber, whereupon her children clamber. She hath 5 navels rosy red, from the 5 wounds of God that bled. Each wound that mothered her still bleeding, and on the that blood her babes are feeding. Oh, like a rose-winged pelican she hath bred blessed babes to Pan. Oh, like a lion-hued nightingale she hath torn her breast on the thorns to avail the barren rose tree to renew her life with that disastrous dew. Building the rose, oh, the world alight with music out of the pale moonlight. Oh, she is like the river of blood that broke from the lips of the bastard god when he saw the sacred mother smile on the ibis that flew up the foam of Nile, bearing the limbs unblessed and born that the lurking beast of Nile had torn. So for the world is weary, these dreadful souls of sense lay by, I sacrifice. She hath naked limbs. So for the world is weary, these dreadful souls of sense lay by, I sacrifice these impure shoon to the cold ray of the waning moon. I take the forked hazel staff and the rose of no terrene graff, and the lamp of no olive oil, with heart's blood that alone may boil. With naked breast and feet unshod I follow the wizard way to God. Wherever he leads my foot shall follow, over the height into the hollow, up to the caves of pure cold breath, down to the deeps of foul hot death, across the seas, through the fires, past the palace of desires, where he will, whether he will or no. If I go, I care not whither I go. For in me is the taint of the fairy blood. Fast, fast its emerald flood leaps within me, violent, rude, like a bestial fawn's beatitude. In me the fairy blood runs hard. My sires were a druid, a devil, a bard. So for the world is a beast, a wizard, a snake, and a satyr. For as my mother said, what does it matter? She was a fay, pure of the fairy, Queen Morgan's daughter by an airy demon that came to Orkney once to pay the beetle his orisons. So it is I that writhe with the twitch of the fairy blood, and the wizard itch to attain a matter one may not utter, rather than sink in the greasy splutter of Britons munching their bread and butter. Ailing boys and coarse-grained girls, grown to sloppy women and brutal churls. So I am off with staff in hand to the endless light of the nameless land. Darkness spreads its somber streams, blotting out the elfin dreams. I might haply be afraid, were it not the feather maid leads me softly by the hand. A beast, a wizard, a snake, and a satyr. Darkness spreads its somber streams, blotting out the elfin dreams. I might haply be afraid were it not the feather maid leads me softly by the hand, whispers me to understand. Now when through the world of weeping, light at last steadily creeping, steals upon my babe new sight, light, oh light that is not light, on my mouth the lips of her, like a stone on my sepulchre. Seal my speech with ecstasy till a babe is born of me that is silent more than I, for its inarticulate cry hushes as its mouth is pressed to the pearl her honey breast, while its breath divinely ripples the rose petals of her nipples, and the jetted milk he laps from the soft delicious pipes, sweeter than the bee-sweet showers in the chalice of the flowers, more intoxicating than all the purple grapes of Pan. Darkness spreads its... Ah, my proper lips are stilled, only all the world is filled with the echo that dips over like the honey from the clover. Passion, penitence, and pain seek the mother's womb again, and are born the triple pleasure, the triple treasure, peace and purity and pleasure. Hush, my child, and come aloft, where the stars are velvet soft. Finis. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. The text is set in Andalus font and printed on acid-free 70-pound text weight Nina environment paper. The cover consists of a glued-up composition of fabric and 70-pound text weight Nina environment paper. The design for the end sheet graphics is taken from an Arthur Rachman illustration for Sir Thomas Malory's Morte d'Arthur. The illustrations for the individual verses from the right away to the world is filled with the echo that dips over. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, The behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, when a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved.
I won't say dislike boxing, because when I got to know him, he wasn't like this.
Was Muslim up in there, some dude named Lee. They was getting the business from Christians. I was like, wow.
Brother, with all due respect.
Yeah, first hard.
You obviously like play things like the priorities with a possible rights, and we should like know about the difference between those two, and you will know like what you can't like just merge them together at once and call them like one thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Good point, Sam. Lama, if you want to go ahead and say something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what Shiraz is getting at. He might, hopefully, he agrees with what I'm saying here. I don't know that you can make such a clear distinction between causality, between probably what you're referring to as like the mind or an abstract space and the exterior space, right? Like what you might call the physical world, which you're calling real. If you think about it, like if you're an engineer and you're doing math in your head, or even the concept of it on a computer, it doesn't quite matter. Those are causal relationships, right? Like you're imagining a structure, you're using your software to type in the code into the computer, and eventually, if everything works out, that structure becomes now a physical object. But the distinction between the causality and the mind and the causality in the physical world is an arbitrary.
Yeah, so in terms of like that kind of process of you either rationalizing or intellectualizing something, that is a causal process, sure. But the either concepts or objects that are conceived of in the mind, those objects themselves are not causal. So what we think about in terms of the abstracta is not causal, but us thinking about them is a causal process. Okay, so I want to distinguish between that, because it's a very clear distinction to make. Me thinking about the number 7 is a causal process, but the number 7 itself is not causal. Okay?
Okay.
Well, sure, but I don't see why then you would call anything in the physical world causal versus an abstract concept. Like I could just call a mountain an abstract concept that's not causal in that case.
But there's one more.
Yeah, a mountain.
I mean, you're talking. When you say what you are saying, it comes from a subjective human point of view. You're just saying some things are more real, because they appear to you from your own human.
Let's forget the word real.
You don't have a theory of what it means to be real. So things appear to you to be real because they appear to you on a subjective level. Okay. You don't know what reality is on an objective level. No one knows, of course. No one knows. Right. But you don't have a theory to distinguish. You don't have a theory to categorize things on the basis of their perceived, realness. Okay. How do you know what is real and what is not real? You might turn out to be not real. You don't know. I mean, what does it even mean to be real in an objective sense?
Okay, so I told you what I meant by real when I used it, but I think that like using the word real here is going to be either misleading or just not purposeful. And so what we could do instead is we could talk about something being causal and not causal, okay? Because that's kind of what I meant by real when I mentioned it in the first place. And so what I mean by things that are causal are things that can make things happen, okay? Or stand in a set of relations of things happening. Okay, that's kind of what I mean.
Do you think a conscious entity becoming acquainted with an abstract object constitutes something happening, or can be described as something happening? But then wouldn't that just mean that the abstract object is causal in the sense that it allows for a conscious agent to become aware of it, so it can interact with the mind of a conscious agent in such a way that that agent now knows it, let's just say?
No, it's not interacting. Okay, so again, I think it's going to depend on like your metaphysics here a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's interacting with like your mind in order to like make you know it. I think what you do is you have a basic set of conceptions and ideas in your mind that you can then, when you're rationalizing, you can then seek out like different ways of either labeling things or talking about things and representing things. Okay,
no, but isn't that a causal notion? Is knowledge a causal notion? So then that just means that...
Can I explain something? Amen.
Yes, you can. Just 1 second. So rationalizing is a causal process, okay? But I'm saying I don't think that there's an object out there that grips you and makes you rationalize about it.
Is achieved within a species. The behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited. So from the world is weary, these dreadful souls of sense lay by. I sacrifice these impure shoon to the cold ray of the waning moon. I take the forked hazel staff and the rose of no.
I'm the only person online who shares every single one of my trades completely for free. I live stream on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and more. This week alone, I've won 18 out of 20 trades, a 90% success rate.
Let's be brutally honest. Stupidity isn't just about. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously Velvet soft, the night star glowed over the untrodden road, through the giant glades of yew, where its ray fell light as dew. Nothing but the realization, born sooner. That most puissant spell of the giant gods of hell, with the four ingredients of the evil elements: amber grey from golden spar, musk of ox from mongrel jar, civet from a box of jade, mixed with fat of many a maid, slain by the enchantments cold of the witches wild and old. He had crucified a toad in the basilic abode, muttering the runes of verse, mad with many a mocking curse. He had traced the serpent sigil in his ghastly virgin. meditation on Daleth. I am the door of life. I am the door of... When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, when a critical... This woman just said that she was molested by her father for like 10 years.
Every single person who's made a short.
Comment on teth, text pronounced teeth, transcribed as I. The number 9 me.
Please don't scroll. Please don't scroll. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying. This song is called A World on Fire. Please don't scroll.
Thing but the realized all of mysticism, even though the fire pretty much got inroads into everywhere in Europe.
And so, with the desire for some people to push Russia towards China.
Planet. And I think that, map from 1919.
Okay, well, go to Target. Do you have a Target? Target also.
A hunger.
Please don't scroll. I'm just.
Meditation on Daleth. I am the door of life. I am the door of life, the best.
Piss be upon Muhammad.
I'm giving you other song screens.
I do you the song. I do. But can I sing my song as well?
No,
Year-old style. They don't care if 80-year-old style, because at the end of the day, it suits their narrative, and their narrative all along has been, Mark said it himself.
Trying to sell someone's house that's
Divorce.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to. Please don't.
I am the door. desire and a long.
Yo soy Da Vinci, mi obra de arte.
Velvet soft, the night star glowed.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big con.
transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within when a critical mass
Saying my point, and that's the reason why you lose. All right, guys, on the response to what you're saying.
You seem the whites were right to be afraid.
So you said that the whites were right, and we gotta understand those whites
To be afraid.
right. Okay, cool. I hear what you're saying. And the example you give was sports. Let me just say this. What happened with those individuals, those white individuals, just like
instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instant
that are sensitive to and partially defined over these aesthetic truths. And then I would also, furthermore, basically, my primary philosophical arguments.
50% of you can never be erased, and because it's Jewish blood, is a stupid person doing hypnosis.
you're mad today, bro. Why are you mad?
I'm not mad. I'm roasting her for being stupid. It's not about agreeing with me. I am whoever you say I am. Oh, Dr. Prince is here, the ultimate terrorist, the future jihadist and shahadist. Oh, Dr. Prince, your life is going to be a short one.
I wanted to tell him that I do like that he's making 5-minute clips sounds much shorter, much more palatable. Sorry, go.
To speak about prophecy. Prophets see through prophets.
But we're not here to go to school. We want to hear you talk about it. Okay, so long story short, no one disagreeing or agreeing with you. I don't know why you're
Europe's policies are completely backwards and opposite of the policies that Trump is trying.
If your question is insignificant and you're in a forest and there's no tree to fall down on your head, are you alive?
88% of the entire budget that we spend needs to be cut, and then
The level above that is the human kingdom, right? So those are those are 4 different levels within the human kingdom.
By paradise? Car overs? Never. No. The mom's one. I think that this looks like a wholesome family, man. The mom
And be one. These are critical to shaping reality. And, inculcate.
That was your Bhagavad Gita moment. That was your
Tao. A circle enclosing a cross is a mathematical symbol of the name of angels a day. The beatific vision.
to be the most innocent, humble.
That's all I feel to talk about. You can get really all the
Now, which is essentially a hypnosis. I'm here to dehypnotize. Sustenance for heart and spirit too. Allah. The serpent of temptation is Nachash, NCHSH, whose name is the number 358, the number of the name Messiah, MSHICH. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species.
When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by
species.
Saying my point, and that's the reason why you lose.
Fit lying. I had something to respond to what you're saying.
You saying the whites were right to be afraid.
So you said that the whites were right. And you gotta understand, so almost whites
To be afraid.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Okay, we're gonna get him here. Weird Al. We're gonna get them all. Let's roast. Democracy, dawdlers, ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds cavort crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are aborted births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times in adept circumstance intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, often destroyed by the herd, but he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger yet never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers, it kills all indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence.
Ferocious fascism,
Democracy, daughters, ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds cavorting crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times in adept circumstance intelligently is laughed at, but often persecuted, often destroyed by the herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers, it kills all indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence. It is always restriction. We're all treated as imbecile children. Dora, the sharp axe, the murdering laws, Sunday suffocation, the censorship.
They are hemming us in. They are aborted births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man foresees the trend of the times and adept circumstance intelligently is laughed at, but often persecuted, often destroyed by the herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers, it kills all indiscriminately. Every measure of those democratic and autocratic governments is communistic. They are hemming us in. They are aborted births of the child.
Crazy, right? It sounds so weird.
Bro, I didn't vote this year. Last time I voted was for Obama, and I pulled myself, so I said I'm cool. If they can trick me with Obama, then I'm definitely not voting no more. Obama was good for me. I love Obama. Obama should be key.
Last time I voted, Bush stole the election. I have not voted again.
See? You didn't vote for Obama?
No, absolutely. I didn't vote for nothing. I would never vote again.
Yeah. Obama. Yeah, really, at the end of the day, it's really no point. Like, I believe in voting and stuff. Like, people need to vote, but I'm not voting. Like, there's no point.
I don't believe in voting. I believe in Jesus Christ.
No,
they hyped me up. They told me my vote counted, and then they reported that the man stole the election.
Crazy work.
I'm from Chicago. I don't like being made a fool of.
Hey, wait.
I'm
We
not.
gotta admit though, Donald Trump is loyal though. The only people that stormed the Capitol, we give all presidential pardons. I was like, man, okay, at least he real to his homies.
Yeah, if you in jail in another country, Donald Trump would get your ass out of jail like he did ASAP.
Yep, and what's it called? The boy Jello got Jello out of jail in China, and now he got a hit song in America.
So do.
Hey, Donald
What
Trump,
you think about that?
We would have that wonderful song if Donald Trump would have got that boy up out of there.
I tell you, Donald Trump is thug. I think honestly,
Donald Trump is America's
probably
last
run for a third term. I think he'll run for a third term.
He ain't run for a third term unless he calls a war.
That man, I could already see Donald Trump gonna make himself king of America. That man gonna bring back the emperor type stuff. He gonna be like, man, I'm not leaving.
Everybody else dumb and stupid. China kicking everybody ass. Don't nobody know how to do business. That's what the problem is. That's why America failing. All the business minds are gone. It was robbers at first. That's really what it was. They was robbing people. It's easy to go, steal somebody's resources and then play like you rich. Anybody can do that. Now when it came around, when China became a real business power in the mind, then they ain't had nobody to compete with that. And America be getting their ass whooped their ass. Donald Trump is the last hope for America.
America's.
But I mean, it don't matter to me though. The new economy that's coming is going to be dealing with spirituality. Like it was a day. I know it is. It was a day where people was like, I'm not going to pay for
Heckling communism, equally frauds cavorting crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently is laughed at, but often persecuted, often destroyed by the herd. But he instantaneously transferred to and exhibited by all members of the species. When a critical mass is achieved within a species, the behavior is
Jehovah, answer thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob set thee up on high. Send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Grant thee thy heart's desire and fulfill all thy counsel. We will triumph in thy salvation. And in the name of our God we will set up our banners. Jehovah, fulfill all thy petitions. Now know I that Jehovah saveth his anointed. He will answer from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will make mention of the name of Jehovah our God. They are bowed down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save Jehovah, let the King answer us when we call. The King shall joy in thy strength, O Jehovah, and in thy salvation. How greatly shall Jehovah answer thee in the King shall joy in thy strength, O Jehovah, and in thy salvation. How greatly shall he rejoice. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden the request of his lips. For thou meetest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of fine gold on his head. He asked life of thee, thou gavest him, even length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty dost thou lay upon him, for thou makest him most blessed forever. Thou makest him glad with joy in thy presence, for the King trusteth in Jehovah, and through the loving kindness of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thy hand will find out all thine enemies, thy right hand will find out those that hate thee. Thou wilt make them as a fiery furnace in the time of thine anger. Jehovah will swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. The fruit wilt thou destroy from the earth, and the seed from among the children of men. The King shall show you thy strength. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me? Why art thou so far from the words of my groaning, O my God? I cry in the daytime, but thou answerest not, and in the night season, and am not silent, but thou art holy. O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel, our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not put to shame. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. And they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip. They shake the head, saying, Commit thyself unto Jehovah. Let him deliver him, let him rescue him, seeing he delighteth in him. But thou art that he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me trust when I was upon my mother's breast. I will cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God since my mother bare me.
do a debate. I'm trying to debate, and I don't know why you said to me that I'm not going to like this, but Maddie doesn't want to debate. He just wants to have a conversation. I'm not sure what about that you think I'm not going to like. Like I speak to Maddie quite regularly, and I consider him a good friend. You know, I have some heated discussions with him. I have some good conversations with him. No, so I really don't know where you're going. It just escalated.
I haven't escalated anything. Are you done? I haven't escalated anything. I've posted 3 links in a back channel, right in the chat. I don't know, was that a trigger to you, by the way, if I may ask? Did I trigger you?
I'm not triggered, I was just trying to have a conversation, but I've got nothing else to say anyway.
Okay, that's fine. If you're not triggered, whether you're friends with Mahdi or you're close friends, it doesn't mean nothing to me, with all due respect. What I care about is the truth, that's it. I stand on truth and I stand by the truth, right? And then you started you was the one that was escalating something. I don't know why you brought a time preference into the conversation. You was going on for like 30, 40, Maddie, am I lying? He was talking about the years. We couldn't even dive into the conversation because he's literally posting and talking about years. Like, who cares, man? Last year, this year, bro, like, who cares? Like, what does that even matter? The reality is that, no, it's not okay. That's what I'm saying to you, Carlos. No. A man can never lie to a wife. Do you understand? And have another wife on the side and lie to the first wife and tell her everything's good. It's just me. It's just me and it's just you. Nobody else. Well, he literally full well know that he's dealing with somebody else on the side. And the thing that he's dealing with on the side, that's why I said muta. I don't know if you was listening, brother. Because there's people that believe in this muta marriage, which means a short time, space of a value of a person. So you could just marry me for a night, we're done. You can marry me for 10 days, we're done. I don't believe in this nonsense. I don't believe in no muta. That's all I was saying to you, brother. So I don't know why we're talking about a differentiation in yeah. We should really be like talking.
Just to clarify, the only reason I brought up years is because if the secret relationship that I don't agree with, right, was happening at the same time as the video, there might be some clues or in the video about the whole situation. That was the relevant.
My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me? Why art thou so far from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou answerest not, and in the night season, and am not silent, but thou art holy. O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel, our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not put to shame. But I am a worm, and no man